Hey guys, I want to welcome you back to the Sensu Pop channel. We will be looking at the blue baby Vegeta leader today. And if you're someone who wants to know how to play this deck, you want to pick it up on day one. Or if you want to know how to play against this deck, this is definitely the video for you. We will be taking a deep dive into what this deck is trying to do, the mechanics behind this deck, and the interactions between each of the cards. If I know I sound like, if you think that I sound like I know every single card in this deck so well and I know every single interaction, it's because I actually do. This is the third time I am recording this video because the first two times there was no video output. There was only me talking to a black screen. And I've checked this time, it should be working. So this is my third time doing it, so I really do know the cards. Alright, so what is this deck trying to do? It's basically a do-nothing deck for the player. If you're playing this deck, it really is gonna test your knowledge of this game. So if you are very good and you know most of the cards' interaction, this deck is definitely gonna work for you. For the players who are playing against this deck, they will hate it because it's about negating, it's about counterplay. You counter. How you play this deck depends on how your opponent plays. So when your opponent attacks, you know when to negate, when to combo, or when to counterplay. This is how the deck works. And then eventually finish the game with a very big heater. Alright? And during your turn, most of the time you're just drawing cards and then you are ending the turn. And then depending on how your opponent plays it, that's how you're gonna do it. Alright, let's take a look at the leader. When you place this card in your leader's area, you get to activate one Planet Truffle from your deck. So that is Planet Truffle. When this card attacks, you get to draw a card. When your life is 4 or less, you may draw 2 cards and then flip this card over. So what information do we get from here? You want to get your life to 4 as soon as possible, so that you draw the 2 cards and flip it over. You don't untap the 1 energy. There is no advantage for you to wait until your turn for you to untap. To awaken. So awaken as soon as possible, but there is no way for you to self-awaken on this leader. And that is something that we get here. Alright, so when we turn the leader over, Overlord, once per turn, this is a new skill coming from a familiar bloodline. So once per turn, you get to place one of your battle cards with 7 skills at the bottom of your deck, and then you draw a card. So it is very important for you to play cards with 7 skills. Alright. Second, also, when this card attacks, you get to draw a card, and he has to activate main once per turn. You look up the top 3, find one mono green, mono blue cards with counter, and then add it into your hands. Then you put the rest under the bottom of your deck, and you have to choose one card from your hands and place it at the bottom of your deck. So it is not a draw 3 leader. It's a draw 2, but it helps you to tutor and recycle the cards so that you know what cards to put underneath the bottom of the deck. It is not dead though, that card is not dead. Whatever cards you put under the bottom of the deck, it also takes strategy, because there are 2 cards in this deck that helps you to bring out that card from the bottom of the deck onto the field. Let's take a look at Planet Truffle. This is very important because field, if your leader card is a blue baby card, all your energy is mono blue, so you have to play all mono blue energy when activating a counter skill of a mono blue card with an energy cost 5 or less from your hands. Reduce the energy cost of that card by 1. Important, so every single card, every single counter skills that you're gonna play, it is gonna be -1. And activate main once per turn. It helps you to self-awaken. You take 1 card from your life, you take 1 card from your hands, and put it under the bottom of the deck. Very important, this 2 works really well together. However, the main star of this deck is the Unison card, and you really have to get this Unison card in your starting hands, because this Unison card is gonna take you right up there, right? So activate main +2, you get to draw a card. Really good, because when you play him for 3, he comes out for 3 marker, and then +2, immediately he goes up to 5. That -5 is extremely critical in this deck. However, we're gonna come back around to it at the end of this video, how to use that -5 ability. Okay, so let's take a look at the 7 cards. Bulla, the first one, really good. She's a 2 cost, but because of Planet Truffle, she is 1 counter attack, and you play this card. And because she has 7, you can use your Overlord skills, put her back into the deck, under the deck, and then you get to draw a card. Really good, extremely good. However, 7 is not just a card for you just to put it underneath. 7 is a keyword that has a skill also. 7 is a permanent, has a permanent that says the card gets 10k permanently. However, it does not untap during your charge phase. So once you swing with Bula, or once you swing with anything with 7 skills, it does not untap. You can use the Overlord, put it underneath your bottom of the deck to draw a card. That is how you use your 7 cards. Really good, because she is a 15k, every one of this has a plus 10k, and this guy goes up to 25k. So let's take a look at Gotenks baby minion. Alright, so counterplay. Now you have a counterplay card. So all of your cards are either counterplay or counterattack. So you are negating your counterplay, negating counterplay, negating counterplay. So it's going to be extremely annoying to play against this deck. Counterplay, play this card. If the battle card being played has an energy 4 or less, it is placed at the bottom of the owner's deck instead of being played. It is very important here because most of the blues counterplay bounces the card back into your opponent's hands. But this is not the case here. It goes into the bottom of your opponent's deck. Really good, extremely good. For 2 costs, it is 7, swings for 20k during your turn, and then you get to use 7, put it down at the bottom of the deck, recycle it, and then you get to draw a card. Bulma is the strange one because she counterplays for 1. 1 cost, it is a 1 cost counterplay if the battle card being played has an energy cost of 1. However, the problem with this one is that it does not bounce back into the bottom of the deck. It bounces back into your opponent's hands. So, if the card is very important, your opponent will just tap another one and play that 1 card. I'm not too sure if I will play Bulma in the deck. I really need to check. Bulma, it's not utility wise, I don't think I will play Bulma. But what Bulma does is that it has 7 skills. I'm not too sure if 12 7 skills are good enough for the deck. I need to check, play around and get the numbers right. However, as a skill wise, I don't think it's that good. Here we go, Son Gohan baby minion. This is gonna be one of your best, cheapest. This is one of your best negate in the game. Counter attack, negate the attack, and you play this card. 2 energy. What does he do? He has 7. He swings for 25k. Very good. When this card is being played, your opponent can't attack for the turn unless they choose 1 card in your hands and place it at the bottom of the deck. Basically, this is a mini topo that draws you a card that swings for 25k. I like it. It's very good. Let's take a look at Searcher, because it's important in the deck for you to have Searcher, right? To get the cards that you want in your hands. Baby, this is not exactly a Searcher, but for 1 energy, it is a 1 cost. However, Planet Truther does not reduce specified cost, so this is 1. Yeah, you still have to pay that 1. Negate the attack and play this card. When you play this card, you look at the bottom of your deck. If it's a mono blue card with a counter skill, you get to put it back into your hands. Remember at the beginning of the video, I told you that whatever you put at the bottom of the deck is not dead. So you kind of have to play around and said if that card you want it back in your hands because you have baby, your opponent swings to negate, you take that card back into your hands. This is something that you can do. However, this is not a +1 though, because eventually you need to take another card and put it back at the bottom of the deck. So Dr. Meal, creator of the Machine Mutant, he is a standard. You play 1, you look at top 3, and then you get to pick 1 mono blue card with counter skills and put it back into your hands. That's all. Let's take a look at the main man himself. The Overlords and the Baby Vegeta card. Baby, Diabolical Parasite. This is like the Gotenks card because it bounces anything. It's for 2 energy. Anything that's played for 4 or less, it is put at the bottom of the deck. The difference between this card and the Gotenks card, is that Gotenks card is a Sovereign. This card, it's an Overlord. Why do we need a second Overlord? Because Overlord skills activate once per turn. So if you have 2 7 on the board, you get to activate 2 times Overlord, so 1 from this battle card and 1 from the leader, and bring the 2/7 card at the bottom of the deck. You get to draw 2 cards. Yeah. In Baby Artificial Life Form, this is an interesting one because this is one of the cards. I think you have 2 cards that could 3 cards. 3 cards in this deck that you can activate using the counter window. What is a counter window? It's when your opponent plays something that has a counter. Counter attack, counter play. So when your opponent negates the attack or your opponent counter plays your play, you can play this card for 3 energy. What does he do? You switch up to one of your... Oh, hold on. This is a little bit different, I forgot, from Gotenks, because this is actually 1 energy, because you get to untap one of your blue energy into active mode. So you need to pay 2, but you get to untap 1. Alright, Gotenks does not untap 1, but he is 7, so you get to draw a card from him. This guy, Artificial Life Form, it is 3, but you get to untap 1. When you play this card during the counter window, take note, it does not negate the counter. It does not say that it negates the counter. So if your opponent is negating the attack or your opponent is counter playing, that effect still goes through. However, what he does is when you play him, you get to choose one of your opponent's battle card and put it at the bottom of its owner's deck. Nice card? I think so. This is a good one because it's basically a whiz coercion. You counter attack for 1 energy, you negate the attack, then switch up to one of your mono blue energy card to active mode. Then you play this card and it has a Overlord skill. So nice, I like it because it's basically a whiz coercion. Very powerful card, Baby the Saiyan Slayer, double strike. It has 2 windows that you can play this card. Either the counter attack, if you are going to do the counter attack, you negate the attack and you play this card. If you're going to do the counter window, you only get to play this card. It does not negate the counter. For 3 costs, it does not do it. However, it does not have a come into play effect. It has an activate main effect. The difference is activate main once per turn. That means you can do it every single turn. If this guy remains on the board, he's going to give you value and value and value. So what does he do? If your leader card is a blue baby card, you may look at the bottom of your deck. If it's a mono blue battle card with a counter skill with an energy cost less than or equal to your current energy, other than a copy of this card, you may play it, otherwise return it to the bottom of the deck. That means most of the battle cards here you could play it. And so you can do shenanigans like you take a baby card, for example like this, right? You have maybe Bola, so you can play Bola. So you have Bola on the board, you use your leader's ability, Overlord, bring Bola back into the bottom of the deck, you get to draw a card. And then you use one of this ability, like use his ability to bring Bola back. You know Bola is underneath the deck, right? Use his ability, free play Bola, because Bola has 7 skills again, you can swing with Bola. And then use another Overlord's ability from this one of them, and then put Bola back into the bottom of the deck, then you get to draw a card. So essentially, he is if you play correctly, he is a draw 1 every single turn. And he has another way, his activate main is strong for another reason, but we'll get back to that later. Now we take a look at Baby Saiyan Power Absorb. This is a promo card. There's a chance that it get expensive, but I'm not too sure. I don't think this card will get expensive. Let's take a look at its effect. Counterplay. Play this card. If the battle card being played is 2 or less, it is placed at the bottom of its owner's deck instead of being played. So 2 costs to counterplay a 2 cost. It is a fair trade. However, it has an activate main. If your leader card is a blue baby card and you place this card from your hands at the bottom of your deck, choose one of your opponent's battle card with energy cost greater than your current energy, negate the skills for the turn, and then return it to its owner's hands. Strong, really strong, because you don't have to pay any energy. If there is something on the board that needs to be taken care of, and usually it's those cards that's being cheated out that has 8 costs, but your opponent is only at 3 energy or 2 energy, and this is a card that you can just discard it, put it at the bottom of your deck. Yes, place this card at the bottom of the deck, then you from your hands to the bottom of the deck, and then you can take that. You can just pop. I'm doing this inverted comma sign, right? Pop that card from your opponent's area. So pretty good card, and you can use his ability to bounce this card on the board again if you want to, or use him to bounce that card back into your hands. Alright, so let's take a look at the extra card. So right now we have seen every single card, it's either a negate or a counterplay. That's why it is so frustrating to play against this deck, right? Now we have our negate, 2 costs, but it's a 1 cost. Negate the attack, then choose up to one of your mono blue battle card with counter skills and return it back to your owner's hands. That means with just that 1-drop baby, you can bounce it back into your hands, or you could use his ability, put this card on the board, then when you negate it, put that card back into your hands again. So that's something that you can do. This is going to be the strongest card in your arsenal. It is dimensional magic, but whether is it better or not, this is up to you. However, this is a promo card, so it is extremely expensive. I think it's gonna get expensive. Counter the attack, but it can be only used with this blue baby, so that's pretty good. I think that is putting a lock on it. Negate the attack, switch 2 of your, it's a 1 cost, switch 2 of your mono blue energy to active mode, and then you get to draw a card. So it does not have the sparking effect, however it draws you a card. Really good? I think so. I think this card is really good. Now, I've talked to you about every single card in this that comes out for this guy. However, how do you end the game? It's with this. Unique, triple strike, play this card. Then, if the card it's being played has an energy, it has 2 windows that you can play, either a counter attack, or a counterplay, or counter. So with the counterplay, play this card. If the battle card being played has a energy cost of 7 or less, it is returned to its owner's hands instead of being played. Then counter, it is a 5 cost though, and it's 5 specified energy. That means Tufa does not reduce it by 1. This is not a 4 cost, this is a 5 cost. So negate the counter skill and play this card. This is the one that actually negates the counter skill. What does it mean? So if you're playing a card and your opponent counterplays it, you can drop 5 energy if you have it. And then you can negate that counter skill. That means that counterplay does not happen. Or if you swing and your opponent counter attacks, by negating, you can play this card to negate the counter attack. Alright? And more than just that, I think this card is really good for what it is, if it's just that. However, now you have a 30k triple striker on the board. And more than just that, you have an auto that says when this card is being played, you get to draw a card, and then you choose up to one of your opponent's battle card, ignoring barrier, and place it at the bottom of its owner's deck. Not to their hands, to the bottom of their owner's deck. Good, really good. This card is strong, but it's 5 energy. However, there are several ways to cheat them out, and I'm gonna show you how to end the game right now. Yeah? Here we go. We have Baby, Unknown Parasite. It's -5 ability. Activate main. If your leader card is mono blue, choose up to one of your leader and it gets plus 15k and double strike for the turn. So your leader now becomes a 30k double striker that when you swing, you get to draw a card. That's great. And it has the second part. Until the start of your next turn, you can activate mono blue cards with counter skills from your hands by choosing 2 other cards from your hand, discarding them instead of playing for their energy costs. When I first read that, I thought, hey, you know, well, okay, now I'm protected. When they swing, I can counterattack, counterplay by dropping 2 if my energy is tapped out. However, this is how you're gonna play it. -5, give your leader a 30k double strike, swing with it. Hopefully your opponent does not negate the attack, because bring them down to a double strike range, bring them down to 2, and you swing with the leader. 30k double strike is very problematic. Your whole deck, unlike the Invoker deck, is not full of extra card. Your whole deck is full of 0.5k. Your combo power is gonna be super high. So you're gonna swing with this card. And then you're gonna combo, and just finish the game with this comboing. Or, alternatively, if they are gonna be negating the attack, what you're gonna do is, you're gonna drop 2 cards from your hands, and then negate the counter. Play the counter card. Now, your opponent has to deal with a 30k double striker, because their negate is countered. It's being negated. Their negate is being negated. Then you can combo your whole hands if you want to. If that does not end the game, they still have to deal with this baby. Now you also have a 3 cost. You have a 3-pull striker 30k on the board that has already draws you a card and pops one of your opponent's battle card, ignoring barrier. So that's it. That's how you end the game. And if you want to, there is also another way to play this guy. Put this guy at the bottom of your deck. If you have 5 energy, which most probably you will, use his ability to bring that baby out, just like that. Just to pop one of your opponent's battle card and draws you a card. Why not? Right? Alright, so that is the deck, and I hope you like it. I think it's gonna be a very annoying deck to play against. It is a sit back, I do nothing, I just want to draw a card. You need to balance between your Overlord, the number of Overlord, and servant cards. Make sure your hands are up, so you can maximize the number of cards that you draw per turn. And then when your Q turn comes, when your opportunity comes, and you're gonna swing. All your 7 cards are gonna swing really hard though. And you're not depending on the board for your play. So that's really good. And yeah, it's gonna be a pretty annoying deck to play against. Could be a fun deck to play, because it's basically like Prison Freezer 2.0. I think so. That has a better finisher. And yeah, that's that. I'm definitely gonna give it a try. And if you have seen my World Martial Arts Dragon Ball Super World Martial Arts card game tournament video, I will feature this deck and give it a go, most probably against Garlic Jr. Let's see how does this matchup works. Alright, I hope you like the series. Drop me a like if you like this video, and comment if you like this video and would like to ask me some questions. Drop me a comment, and if you want to tell me, give me some feedback, also tell me in the comment section. If you want to tell me how much you dislike this video, also write it in the comment section. Most of the time I reply. It's gonna make me sad if you don't like this video, but if it's constructive, if you said that you don't like a certain part and I can change it, and we can have a discussion, I'll feel sad, but we can still talk and be friends. Alright, so take care, stay safe, and see you guys in the next video. Alright, ciao, bye.